Hello, Rapids fans. Here I am in the press box. You can see a lot going on, very loud, lots of people. Let me give you a shot of my view. Not great angles, if I'm being honest. I got a TV kind of in the way, but you know, we're not the most important outlet here, so that happens. We do have lineups for both teams. It's Matt Freese in goal, a back three center backs for the United States. Alex Freeman, Chris Richards is able to make it. That's huge for Mauricio Pochettino's defense. Tim Ream is also in the back in possession as captain. And then it's Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson on the flanks, Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams in the middle, and then a front three according to FOTMOB, though I've seen it listed as a 3-5-2 as well. Tillman, Pulisic, and then Balogun up top. I think the front, the front seven, right, those that, takes care of itself. The only real question was whether or not Chris Richards was going to be available, so then would we have seen Mark McKenzie, maybe an Austin Trusty, who's unfortunately on the bench from a Rapids perspective, or one of the other center backs, or does that switch it to a back four? I think Chris Richards coming in simplifies that. He's good, compliments Tim Ream in a very positive way. Notes from Paraguay is that Julio Enciso, who had that horrible injury a couple of friendlies ago, was able to make it into the lineup as well. So he is starting up top. Atlanta United star boy Miguel Almiron is in midfield as well. So I think in Enciso being able to start for Paraguay as their most important attacker, Chris Richards being able to start as the most important defender out. I think those two things probably cancel each other out. I still think the United States is better on paper. I think they win tonight. If they win tonight, very few pass forward have them not making it out of the group. So we'll see what happens. Spencer is pitch side. He's taking photos. He'll be taking some video for us as well. But I'll see you later on in the match, maybe at halftime.
From Netherlands. The referees are Missel Steekstra from Netherlands and Jan de Vries from Netherlands. The fourth official is Yusuke from Japan, and the fifth official is Jun Mihara from Japan, and Thomas Mulmori from Qatar. Please remain standing.
right, folks, and we're back. It is halftime from Los Angeles Stadium, and it is United States 3, Paraguay 0. An own goal set up by Weston McKennie, and then a brace from Flo Balogun. Fantastic link-up play. That's the best 45 minutes they've played under Mauricio Pochettino. I don't know that it's particularly close. There's the Senegal game a couple of weeks ago. There's other friendlies, I think, in which they've done similar stuff, but just the pressing to limit the opponent creating really anything outside of the opening 5 minutes for Paraguay and have any really build-up or just time on the ball. Excellent. Direct play when needed into space with players who are finding that space and then doing good work with it. Fantastic work from Pulisic on all 3 goals. I'm not sure that he had, I don't think he had the assist to Balogun's second goal, but it could have been 5-0 in that first half. Chris Richards looks good. He almost scored. Weston McKennie's been excellent. And Flo Balogun, cool, calm finish on that first goal and then creating it all on his own. If it wasn't for the South Korea nutmeg techers against, who did they play? Against Czechia the other night, I would say Flo Balogun right now has the best goal of the opening weekend. Fantastic start for the United States in the moment, in the game in which it mattered most. More of that, please. I can't wait to see what they do in the second half, and they hold on and win this game. They've got 3 points in the bag before they have to play a second or third game. They've got a massive goal difference. This puts them in pole position to get out of the group and do so comfortably. What a pleasant surprise tonight so far from Mauricio Pochettino's Baby Eagles.
Yes, you
as being in a lot of tight games, really needing to scrape through results. What does it say about this team's evolution that they were able to take the game to Paraguay the way that they did, show the attacking flair that they did, and the confidence that they did tonight?
Difficult question. Because it's in the past happened something, today is today. It's difficult to compare, with the past. I don't know what happened in the past. I think we need to talk about today, and the players deserve big credit because I think it was a great match.
Okay, Rapids fans, wow. First of all, since I didn't get any good views because my press box seat wasn't the most, wasn't the preferred one. Here's the wide shot, you will, of Los Angeles Stadium and all the upper seats and the, whatever we're calling this thing, I can't remember, since it's not a Jumbotron like we have at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Wild game and wild night, a more competitive second half from the Paraguayans, certainly showed a better version of themselves, ended up scoring a goal through Mauricio, albeit a little bit too late, and any concerns that you had about whether or not that was going to turn into something else, or that maybe the U.S. were going to be a little bit more passive, up 3-0 at halftime. That gets done away with the way that I think they responded to that Paraguay goal. And then obviously the, what's the word? The Trivela from one Gio Reyna to score his first ever goal in the World Cup. Absolutely fantastic. That put the icing on the cake, really, of U.S. national team 4, Paraguay 1, 3 points, a +3 goal difference. Now looks very, very unlikely that the U.S. would not get out of the group. I've seen some models based on the current setup and the all of the third-place teams that are getting in, that in most scenarios, 3 points and I can't remember if it's a +2 goal difference or a -2 goal difference gets you in. But an emphatic victory tonight for the Yanks on home soil. Overall, a good performance. A little lackluster in the second half, but the damage was done in the first half. Christian Pulisic looked good. He was subbed off precautionarily. We have quotes from Mixzone, from Joe Lowry, from Backfield, saying that it's a potential calf injury. He took a knock there. It's precautionary. Does that turn into something that's more, given the injury concerns that we've seen from Christian Pulisic in the past? But Florian Balogun scored, looked fantastic. Chris Richards did not have an incomplete pass. I think I saw that on social media. He was 83 for 83. Tim Ream did not look like a weakness defensively. Paraguay scores a goal, and it was kind of a messy play. That's fixable, but we've said that about this USMNT defense before as well. Look, it was about the result tonight. They got the result. They scored a bunch of goals, and the players who needed to play well, Weston McKennie, Chris Richards, Christian Pulisic, Florian Balogun, Gio Reyna off the bench, all did that. All positive steps forward, and I'm excited to see where the team goes from here. Going to try to go to training on Monday before New Zealand against Iran, which I'm planning to go to try and speak to Tommy Smith, and hopefully I'll finally get to ask Mauricio Pochettino a question after training on Monday down in Irvine, California, and hopefully going to try and get some one-on-one time with former Colorado Rapids center back Chris Richards. But I think that'll do it. I'm going to head out to the media center, add some quotes to the article, and then hopefully get to bed out. Much quicker only having the press conference, not having access to mix zone compared to your standard MLS setup there. So getting out of here at a reasonable time, given I got to deal with the 4:05 and the 5 on a Friday night. This is Matt Pollard, managing editor, Burgundy Wave. This is awesome. This thing is huge. It's like a giant spaceship. I didn't know what to make of the canopy, just because the press box was sealed in. We had the glass. I've spoken in the past before about how that's not something that I generally care for. I want to feel the crowd. I want to be able to hear the crowd. We have that with Dick's, with the outdoor press box, and just being sealed in where the crowd is muffled, or there's a bit of a delay where you hear the actual crowd and then you've got the broadcast audio in the press box. Just generally not something I prefer, but it's a giant spaceship and it looks amazing architecturally, regardless of the banter that we've seen from English football fans and college football fans on social media about whether or not these stadiums have aura. This thing has aura, even if it's weird. Good morning, or I should say good afternoon, Rapids fans. I slept very well last night after my hour-long drive out from Los Angeles Stadium. A fantastic banner night for myself and Spencer Baldwin. Obviously a fantastic night for the United States men's national team. I would say, other than 2002 Portugal, possibly their best result they've ever had, their best performance they've ever had in a World Cup game. I suppose other than maybe Joe Gajan, 1-0, 1950 Brazil against England, where they had that upset. Sorry, my parents' cat Henry is making a lot of noise. Hi, Henry. Anyways, fantastic night for the U.S. Bucket list item for myself, and I think anybody who was there covering the World Cup. Lots of other stuff to say about the post-match coverage. FIFA is weird in that individuals covering can only do either just the press conference or just the mix zone. I've never seen that before. U.S. Soccer doesn't do that. I haven't seen that with CONCACAF. Though CONCACAF does do press conferences and mix zone simultaneously, which can be a bit annoying for a beat reporter. I imagine they probably have more capacity. They have capacity for everybody in the press box in these giant NFL stadiums. They then don't have the capacity to then fit all of those people into a press conference room and then all of those people into a mix zone, even if it's very relatively stratified in terms of, at least last night, you had a lot of Spanish-speaking Paraguayan outlets and media members who were covering just Paraguay, and then you had a lot of English-speaking American outlets that were specifically covering the United States men's national team. And I saw a mix of other nationalities as well. On our press credential, which I can't show you, it does have what country our outlet is based out of. So I saw German, I saw British, I saw a Mexican outlet as well. Imagine most of those, at least just based on numbers of how many people stayed for Mauricio Pochettino, because he was after the Paraguay head coach. We're focused on the U.S., we're focused on the hosts, and possibly informed by the result there. But great result, overright for the team. I still have lots of feelings about this World Cup. The stadium is amazing and weird in a lot of ways that were super cool architecturally, in a lot of ways that were annoying and inconvenient for a member of the media or a spectator. I still have lots of issues with FIFA and what they've done so far. There's times and places to talk about that, but for the purpose of this vlog, just what was our experience like covering this game. Fantastic. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna do some editing and eat some food, and this will be up on the YouTube and on our Patreon shortly.